Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about something important. How to learn English. Learning English can be fun and easy if you do it the right way. First, let me share a story. When I was young, I didn't know English. I felt scared. But then I started listening to stories in English every day. Slowly, I understood more and my fear went away. Listening is very important. When you listen, you learn new words and how to say them. So, listen to English every day. Stories, songs, or news. It really helps. Next, practice is key. They say practice makes perfect. I practiced every day, even if I made mistakes. Mistakes are okay. They help you learn. So, don't be afraid. Speak English every day. Reading is also a great way to learn. Start with simple books, especially ones with pictures. They help you understand the story. The more you read, the better your English will become. Writing is important too. Start by writing small things, like about your day or family. The more you write, the better you get. I used to write in a small notebook every day, and it helped me a lot. Another tip is to watch English videos. You can watch cartoons, movies, or shows. You'll learn how to speak and hear new words. I learned a lot from a cartoon about a dog. Talking to people is also a great way to learn. Find friends who speak English or practice online. I had a friend who helped me. We talked every day, and I learned a lot. Be patient. Learning a new language takes time. Don't give up. Every small step counts. I remember feeling frustrated, but I kept going and got better. Use a dictionary to help you with new words. Look up words you don't know and try to use them in sentences. I carried a small dictionary with me all the time. You can also play games in English. Games are fun and they help you learn without feeling like you're studying. I used to play word games with my friends, and I learned many new words. Try thinking in English. At first, it might be hard, but it helps a lot. Start thinking in English every day, and you'll improve. Finally, set goals for yourself. Goals keep you focused. Start with small goals, and as you achieve them, you'll feel proud. Keep practicing, and remember, little by little, you will improve. Chapter 2. Hello again. In this chapter, we will talk about how to speak English better. Speaking is very important when you are learning a language. The more you speak, the easier it will become. Let's go through some easy steps to help you speak English confidently. First, don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes when learning. Everyone makes them, even native speakers. Mistakes are part of learning, so don't let them stop you. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. So, speak English every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. One good way to practice speaking is to talk to yourself. Yes, you can talk to yourself in English. It's a great way to practice without feeling nervous. You can describe your day, your plans, or even talk about your thoughts. The more you speak, the better you will get. Another tip is to find someone to talk to. If you have a friend or family member who speaks English, practice with them. If not, you can find people online who want to learn English too. You can join language exchange groups or find partners who will help you practice. Talking to others helps you improve quickly because you learn how to use English in real conversations. Listening is also very important when speaking. When you listen to others speak, you learn new words and phrases. You also learn how to use the right pronunciation. Listening to English speakers helps you understand how to speak naturally. So, try to listen to English conversations, podcasts, or videos every day. This will make you more familiar with the language. Don't worry if you don't understand everything right away. When you are learning, it's normal to not understand every word. But don't give up. Keep listening and speaking. Over time, your understanding will grow, and speaking will become easier. Another important tip is to speak slowly. When we speak too fast, it can be hard to understand. Speaking slowly helps you think about your words and say them more clearly. Don't rush. Take your time and focus on saying each word properly. Also, try to use simple sentences. As you are learning, it's better to use short and simple sentences. Don't worry about making long, complex sentences. Start with basic sentences and build from there. For example, instead of saying, "I would like to go to the park with my friends tomorrow if the weather is nice," you can say, "I want to go to the park tomorrow." Simple sentences are easier to say and understand. Another great way to practice speaking is to repeat after others. This is called shadowing. You can watch a video or listen to a conversation in English. After that, repeat what you hear. Try to copy the pronunciation and rhythm of the speaker. This will help you speak more naturally and sound more fluent. Use new words you learn in conversations. When you learn a new word, try to use it in a sentence. This helps you remember it better. You can also write down new words and review them every day. The more you practice, the easier it will be to use these words in conversation. You can also practice speaking by describing things around you. Look at an object, a person, or a place, and try to describe it in English. For example, if you see a dog, you can say, "The dog is big and brown. It has a fluffy tail." This helps you practice speaking and using new vocabulary. Try to use English in your everyday life. If you go to a shop, try to speak English with the cashier. If you talk to your friends, try to use simple English phrases. The more you practice, the more confident you will feel. Speaking English with confidence is important. Even if you make mistakes, keep talking. Confidence helps you improve faster. Remember, no one speaks perfectly all the time, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep trying and never give up. You can also use apps to practice speaking. Many apps have speaking exercises and games that can help you practice English. Some apps even allow you to talk with native speakers. This is a great way to practice real-life conversations and get feedback. Another way to practice is by reading out loud. You can read a book, an article, or even a simple sentence out loud in English. This helps you practice pronunciation and get used to speaking English. It's also helpful to practice speaking about different topics. Start with easy topics like your family, hobbies, or your favorite food. As you improve, you can talk about more difficult topics like news or current events. The more topics you practice, the more confident you will become in speaking English. Remember, speaking takes time and practice. Don't get discouraged if you make mistakes or feel nervous. Every day you practice, you are getting better. Keep speaking, keep listening, and keep learning. In conclusion, speaking English is all about practice and confidence. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Practice speaking every day, listen to others, and use simple sentences. Talk to people, join groups, and describe things around you. The more you practice, the better you will get at speaking English. Keep going, and soon you will be able to speak English fluently. Chapter 3. Hello again. In this chapter, we will talk about how to read English better. Reading is a great way to improve your vocabulary and understanding of the language. The more you read, the better you will become at understanding and using English. The first tip is to start with easy books. Choose books that are simple and fun to read. You can start with books for children because they have simple language and interesting stories. Books with pictures are also great because they help you understand the story better. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Just keep reading. As you get better, you can try reading books with fewer pictures and more text. Choose stories that interest you, because when you enjoy what you are reading, it becomes easier to learn. You can read stories about animals, adventures, or things you like. Another important tip is to read aloud. Reading out loud helps you practice pronunciation and helps you get used to the sounds of the language. When you read out loud, you also remember words better. Try to find a quiet place where you can read aloud without distractions. If you come across a word you don't know, don't worry. This happens to everyone. Just stop, look up the word in a dictionary, and try to understand its meaning. Once you know the word, try to use it in a sentence. This will help you remember it. If you don't have a dictionary, you can use a dictionary app on your phone. It's also helpful to read the same book or story more than once. When you read a story more than once, you understand it better. You can also remember new words and sentences. Try reading the same book a few times until you feel comfortable with the language. Don't be afraid to skip words you don't know at first. You can read for the meaning of the story instead of focusing on every single word. Once you understand the main idea of the story, you can go back and focus on the words you didn't know. This is a great way to improve your reading skills without feeling stuck on one word. Reading is also a great way to learn new words. Every time you read, you come across new vocabulary. Write down the words you don't know and look them up later. Try to use them in sentences. The more new words you learn, the better your English will become. You can also try reading different types of materials. Read newspapers, websites, or magazines. Reading different kinds of texts will help you learn different kinds of vocabulary and sentence structures. This will also help you become familiar with how English is used in different situations. If you don't understand everything, that's okay. It's normal to not understand everything when you're learning. Just keep reading, and slowly, things will start to make more sense. The more you practice, the easier reading will become. Another tip is to try to guess the meaning of a word from the context. Sometimes you don't need to know every single word. Look at the other words around the unknown word and try to guess its meaning. This will help you understand the story or text without having to stop every time you don't know a word. Reading out loud also helps with your listening skills. When you read a sentence, you can imagine how it sounds when spoken. This helps you practice both reading and listening at the same time. Listening to how words are spoken will improve your speaking skills too. You can also try reading with a friend or family member. This way, you can practice together and help each other when you don't understand something. It's fun to read together and talk about what you learned from the story. Sharing ideas with others makes reading even more enjoyable. Try reading in different environments. You can read at home, at the park, or even on the bus. Reading in different places makes it more interesting and fun. It also helps you practice reading in different situations. As you get better at reading, you can start to read books for older students or even adults. Try reading news articles or short stories in English. These are a little more challenging, but they will help you grow in your language skills. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. Just keep reading. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you read, the easier it will be. Don't give up if it's hard at first. Keep reading every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Over time, your reading skills will improve, and you will feel more confident in your ability to read English. In conclusion, reading is a fun and important way to learn English. Start with easy books and read aloud. Don't be afraid to look up new words and use them in sentences. Read every day and try to read different types of materials. Remember, it's okay if you don't understand everything at first. Just keep practicing. The more you read, the better you will get. Keep going, and soon you'll be able to read English fluently. Chapter 4. Hello, everyone. In this chapter, we are going to talk about how to write in English. Writing is an important skill because it helps you organize your thoughts and communicate clearly. The more you write, the better you will become at expressing yourself in English. Let's look at some simple tips to help you improve your writing. The first tip is to start writing every day. Writing every day helps you get used to the language. You don't need to write a lot. Just a few sentences or a short paragraph is enough. For example, you can start by writing about your day, your family, or something you enjoy doing. The more you write, the more you will improve. Next, it's important to write about things you like. When you write about things you enjoy, it becomes easier and more fun. You can write about your favorite food, hobbies, or a place you want to visit. When you write about things that interest you, you will feel motivated to keep writing. Another good way to practice is by writing simple sentences. Don't worry about writing long or difficult sentences at first. Start with short, clear sentences. For example, I like to read books, or my dog is brown. These are simple sentences, but they are a great way to start. As you get better, you can make your sentences longer. Also, try to write with correct spelling and grammar. It's okay to make mistakes, but try to check your writing for any errors. You can use tools like a grammar checker to help you. Don't forget to start each sentence with a capital letter and end with a period. This will make your writing look neat and clear. A great way to improve your writing is to keep a notebook. Write in it every day. You can write about your thoughts, dreams, or even things you have learned. This helps you practice writing and makes it a habit. You can also look back at what you have written to see how much you've improved. If you don't know how to spell a word, don't worry. Just try your best. You can look up the word in a dictionary or ask someone for help. The important thing is to keep writing and not to give up. The more you write, the easier it will be to spell words correctly. Another tip is to make a writing plan. Before you start writing, think about what you want to say. You can write down a few ideas and organize them into a list. This will help you write more clearly. For example, if you are writing about your favorite hobby, you can write down points like, what is my hobby? Why do I like it? When do I do it? These points will help you stay focused and make your writing easier to follow. You can also try writing stories. Start with short, simple stories about things you know. For example, you can write a story about your family or a trip you took. The more you write, the better your storytelling skills will become. Don't worry if your story is short or simple. The goal is to practice using new words and sentences. Reading other people's writing can also help you improve. Read simple books, articles, or stories in English. Look at how the sentences are written and how the ideas are organized. You can try to write like the authors you read. This will help you learn new writing styles and improve your own writing. If you want to improve your writing even more, you can practice writing letters or emails in English. You can write to a friend, family member, or even a pen pal. This will help you practice using English in real situations. Writing emails or letters also helps you learn how to write politely and clearly. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback. If you can, ask someone to read your writing and give you advice. They can help you find mistakes and tell you how to improve. This is a great way to learn and get better. When you write, try to use new words and phrases. Every time you learn a new word, try to use it in your writing. This will help you remember it. For example, if you learn the word delicious, you can write, "The food at the restaurant was delicious." Using new words in your writing helps you practice them and improves your vocabulary. Another important tip is to write clearly. Make sure your writing is easy to read and understand. If you use difficult words or long sentences, your writing might be hard to understand. Try to keep your sentences simple and your ideas clear. Sometimes it's helpful to rewrite your work. After you write something, take a break and read it again later. You might find ways to improve it. Maybe you can make the sentences shorter or change some words to make them easier to understand. This is part of the writing process, and it helps you become a better writer. Remember, writing takes time and practice. Don't worry if it's difficult at first. The more you practice, the better you will get. It's okay to make mistakes. They help you learn. Keep writing every day, and you will see how much you improve. In conclusion, writing is a great way to improve your English. Start by writing every day, keeping it simple, and using correct spelling and grammar. Read other people's writing, practice writing stories, and use new words. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and remember to keep practicing. The more you write, the better you will get at English. Keep going, and soon you will be able to write fluently in English. Chapter 5. Confidently. Hello again. In this chapter, we will talk about how to speak English confidently. Speaking is an important skill, and it's normal to feel nervous at first, but with practice, you will feel more comfortable speaking English. Let's look at some tips to help you speak English with confidence. The first tip is to practice speaking every day. Speaking often will help you get used to using English. You don't have to speak for a long time, just a few minutes every day. You can talk to yourself, repeat sentences, or even talk to a friend. The more you practice, the easier it will become. It's also important to speak slowly and clearly. Don't worry about speaking fast. Speaking slowly helps you say the words clearly and gives you more time to think. It's better to speak slowly and correctly than to speak quickly and make mistakes. Focus on saying each word properly, and you will sound more confident. Another good tip is to listen to how others speak. Pay attention to how native speakers talk. You can listen to English videos, podcasts, or songs. This will help you understand how words are pronounced and how sentences are structured. Listening to English every day will also improve your own speaking skills. When you speak, don't worry too much about making mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language. Mistakes are a part of learning, so don't let them stop you. Keep speaking, even if you're not sure about the grammar or pronunciation. The more you speak, the better you will get. It's also helpful to learn and practice common phrases. There are many phrases that people use in everyday conversations. For example, how are you? "What's your name?" or "Can I help you?" Learning these common phrases will help you feel more comfortable speaking in different situations. You can practice saying these phrases until you feel confident. If you don't know a word, try to explain it in a different way. If you can't remember the word for car, you can say, "the thing that drives on the road." People will understand you, and this will help you communicate. Don't be afraid to use simple words or descriptions when you're speaking. Talking to others is a great way to practice. If you have friends who speak English, talk to them as much as you can. If you don't have any friends who speak English, you can find language partners online. There are many people around the world who want to practice English, just like you. Speaking with others will help you improve your confidence and fluency. It's also helpful to practice speaking in different situations. Try speaking in different places, like at home, at a cafe, or even at the store. The more situations you practice speaking in, the more comfortable you will feel. For example, you can practice ordering food at a restaurant in English or asking for directions. One way to practice is to repeat what you hear. When you listen to English, try repeating the sentences out loud. This is called shadowing. Shadowing helps you improve your pronunciation and rhythm. It also helps you get used to speaking at the right speed. Try to repeat what you hear as closely as possible. Another tip is to think in English. At first, you might think in your own language and translate it into English. But as you get better, try to think directly in English. This will help you speak faster and feel more confident. For example, instead of thinking, "How do I say I'm going to the store?" just think, "I'm going to the store." When you're speaking, try to use the words and phrases you've learned. Even if you don't know a lot of words, using what you know will help you build your confidence. You can also try to add new words to your sentences. For example, if you know how to say, "I'm hungry," you can add, "I'm hungry and I want a sandwich." Another good tip is to join English-speaking groups. Many people join groups to practice speaking English. These groups can be online or in person. By joining a group, you will have more opportunities to speak and practice. It's a great way to make new friends and improve your speaking skills. You can also practice with language apps. Many apps help you practice speaking English. Some of them have speaking exercises and conversations with native speakers. These apps are fun and can help you speak more naturally. You can practice at your own pace and track your progress. If you feel nervous, take a deep breath and relax. It's normal to feel scared when speaking in a new language. But remember, everyone starts as a beginner. Don't let fear stop you from speaking. The more you speak, the less nervous you will feel. Finally, remember that speaking takes time. It's okay if you don't speak perfectly right away. The important thing is to keep practicing. Over time, your confidence will grow, and speaking English will become easier. In conclusion, Speaking English confidently is all about practice. Speak every day, listen to others, and don't worry about mistakes. Use common phrases, speak slowly and clearly, and talk to others. The more you practice, the better you will become. Don't forget to be patient with yourself. Learning takes time, but with practice, you will speak English confidently. Keep practicing, and you'll get better every day. Chapter 6. Hello again. In this chapter, we will talk about how to learn English vocabulary. Having a good vocabulary is important because it helps you express yourself clearly. The more words you know, the easier it will be to understand and speak English. Let's look at some easy ways to learn new words. The first tip is to learn new words every day. You don't need to learn many words at once, just a few words each day. For example, you can learn 3 to 5 new words daily. Start with simple words like house, school, or book. Once you learn a word, try to use it in sentences. This will help you remember it. Another great way to learn vocabulary is to use flashcards. Write a word on one side of the card and its meaning, or a picture on the other side. Review your flashcards every day. You can make flashcards with words you see in books, movies, or conversations. This will help you remember the words better. You can also learn vocabulary by reading. When you read in English, you will see many new words. If you don't understand a word, look it up in a dictionary. After you find the meaning, try to use the word in a sentence. Reading books, articles, or even social media posts in English will help you see new words and learn how they are used. Another way to learn new words is by listening. Listen to English podcasts, songs, or videos. When you hear a new word, write it down. Later, look up the meaning of the word and practice saying it. Listening to English every day will help you learn how words are pronounced and used in conversation. You can also learn words by watching movies or TV shows in English. Pay attention to the words people use. You can repeat the words out loud to practice. Watching movies is fun, and it helps you learn words that are used in everyday conversation. Don't forget to learn words in context. This means learning how to use words in sentences. For example, if you learn the word happy, you should also learn how to use it in a sentence like, I am happy today. When you learn words in sentences, it will be easier to remember them and use them correctly. Another helpful tip is to group words by topic. For example, you can learn words about food, animals, or travel. Grouping words together helps you remember them better. You can make a list of words for each topic and practice them every day. Try to use the new words you learn in your conversations. When you speak, try to add some new words to your sentences. This will help you remember the words and make your speaking more interesting. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Using new words is the best way to learn. You can also learn vocabulary by writing. Write short sentences or a paragraph using the new words you have learned. This will help you practice how to use the words in different situations. Writing helps you remember words and makes you more confident when speaking. Another tip is to use an app to learn vocabulary. Many apps are available that can help you learn new words. Some apps give you quizzes and games to practice vocabulary. These apps are fun, and they can help you learn words in a way that feels like a game. Try to make vocabulary learning fun. You can learn words by playing games, doing puzzles, or using language learning apps. When you enjoy learning, it becomes easier, and you will want to continue. If you forget a word, don't worry. Keep reviewing the word until you remember it. It's normal to forget words sometimes, but the more you practice, the easier it will be to remember them. Review your vocabulary regularly to keep the words fresh in your memory. One more tip is to learn synonyms and antonyms. A synonym is a word that means the same thing as another word. For example, big and large are synonyms. An antonym is a word that means the opposite of another word. For example, happy and sad are antonyms. Learning synonyms and antonyms will help you expand your vocabulary and make your speaking and writing more interesting. Don't be afraid to ask others for help. If you don't know a word, ask someone to explain it to you. Talking to people who speak English is a great way to learn new words and get help with pronunciation. You can also ask for tips on how to remember words. Finally, be patient. Learning vocabulary takes time. It's okay if you don't remember every word right away. The more you practice, the more words you will learn. Keep using the words you learn in sentences, and soon they will become a part of your vocabulary. In conclusion, learning vocabulary is an important part of learning English. Start by learning a few new words every day. Use flashcards, read, listen, and watch English content to find new words. Practice using the words in sentences, and try to learn words in context. Group words by topics, use apps, and have fun with your learning. Remember, practice makes perfect, so keep learning and using new words every day. With time and effort, your vocabulary will grow, and you will feel more confident speaking and understanding English. Chapter 7. In this chapter, we will talk about how to improve your English listening skills. Listening is an important part of learning English. When you listen, you can hear how words are pronounced and learn how sentences are formed. The better your listening skills, the easier it will be to understand and speak English. Let's look at some simple ways to improve your listening skills. The first tip is to listen to English every day. Listening every day will help you get used to hearing the language. You don't have to listen for a long time. Just listen for a few minutes each day. You can listen to podcasts, songs, or even watch English videos. The more you listen, the better your listening skills will become. Another good way to improve listening is to listen to different types of content. You can listen to news, stories, interviews, or even cartoons. Different types of content will teach you different vocabulary and accents. For example, news programs might use formal language, while cartoons might use simple, everyday language. Listening to different types of English will help you understand it in many situations. When you listen, try to focus on the main idea. Don't worry too much about understanding every word. It's more important to understand the general meaning of what you hear. If you don't understand something, don't worry. Just keep listening and try to understand the bigger picture. Over time, your ability to understand will improve. You can also listen to something more than once. If you hear a story or conversation, listen to it several times. The first time, just try to understand the main idea. The second time, try to catch some details. The third time, listen carefully to the words and pronunciation. Listening more than once will help you understand the content better and make it easier to remember new words. Another helpful tip is to repeat what you hear. This is called shadowing. When you listen to something, try to repeat the sentences out loud. This will help you practice your pronunciation and rhythm. It will also help you remember what you hear. Shadowing is a fun and effective way to improve your listening and speaking skills at the same time. You can also use subtitles. When you watch a video or listen to a song, turn on the subtitles in English. Reading the subtitles while listening will help you connect the spoken words with their written form. This can help you learn how words are pronounced and how sentences are structured. You can try watching with subtitles first, then listen without them later to test your understanding. If you don't understand a word, try to guess its meaning from the context. Listen to the rest of the conversation or story to see if you can figure out what the word means. If you still don't know, look it up later. Learning words from context is a great way to improve your listening and vocabulary at the same time. It's also helpful to listen to slow English. Some websites and apps offer slow versions of podcasts or stories. Listening to slower English will help you understand the words more easily. Once you feel comfortable with slow English, you can start listening to normal speed English. This will help you get used to hearing the language at a faster pace. Don't forget to practice listening to different accents. English is spoken in many countries, and each country has its own accent. For example, British English sounds different from American English. By listening to different accents, you will get used to understanding English no matter how it's spoken. You can find videos, movies, or podcasts from different English-speaking countries to practice listening to various accents. One great way to improve your listening skills is to practice with a language partner. Find someone who speaks English and practice listening to them. Ask them to speak slowly or explain things you don't understand. Speaking with a partner will help you practice real conversations and get used to natural speech. If you don't have a language partner, you can also join language groups online to practice listening and speaking. Another way to improve your listening skills is to use listening apps. Many apps are designed to help you practice listening to English. Some apps offer listening exercises, quizzes, and activities. These apps can be fun and helpful for improving your listening skills. You can use them to practice listening at your own pace and track your progress. Sometimes you might find it difficult to understand English because of the speed. People speak quickly in real life, and it can be hard to follow. Don't worry. Keep practicing and try to listen to slower content first. As you get better, try listening to faster speakers. Your listening skills will improve with practice. You can also listen to English music. Music is a fun way to practice listening. The lyrics of songs often repeat, so you can catch the words more easily. Try listening to songs in English and sing along. This will help you improve your listening and speaking skills at the same time. It's important to be patient with yourself. Listening takes time. At first, you may not understand everything, and that's okay. Keep listening every day, and you will improve. Over time, your ability to understand English will get better, and you will feel more confident. In conclusion, improving your English listening skills is all about practice. Listen to English every day, use subtitles, and try shadowing. Listen to different types of content, practice with language partners, and use listening apps. Be patient, and don't worry about making mistakes. The more you practice, the better your listening skills will become. Keep listening, and you will get better at understanding English. Chapter 8. Welcome to Chapter 8. In this chapter, we will focus on how to improve your English speaking skills. Speaking is one of the most important parts of learning English because it helps you communicate clearly. The more you speak, the more confident you will become. Let's look at some simple and effective ways to improve your speaking. The first tip is to practice speaking every day. You don't need to speak for a long time. Just practice for a few minutes each day. You can talk to yourself, practice sentences, or even repeat what you hear in English. The more you practice, the better you will get. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. Everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language. The important thing is to keep trying. When you make a mistake, learn from it and keep speaking. The more you speak, the less afraid you will be of making mistakes. It's also helpful to practice speaking with others. Find a language partner or a friend who speaks English. Speaking with someone else helps you practice real conversations. You can ask them to correct you when you make mistakes, and they can help you improve. If you don't have a friend to speak with, you can join language groups online or use language exchange apps. Another good tip is to talk about things you enjoy. If you love reading books, talk about your favorite books. If you enjoy sports, talk about your favorite games or players. Talking about things you like will make speaking more fun and interesting. This will also help you learn new vocabulary related to topics you enjoy. When you practice speaking, try to speak slowly and clearly. Don't worry about speaking quickly. Speaking slowly will help you say the words correctly. As you get better, you can try to speak a little faster, but don't rush. Take your time to form your sentences clearly. A great way to improve your speaking is by repeating what you hear. For example, when you watch a video or listen to a podcast, pause the video and repeat what the speaker says. Try to copy their pronunciation and rhythm. This is called shadowing, and it helps you improve both your speaking and listening skills. It will also help you sound more natural when speaking. You can also use a mirror to practice speaking. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself in English. This will help you see how your mouth moves when you speak. It also helps you practice speaking without feeling nervous or shy. Practice speaking in front of the mirror every day to build confidence. Another helpful tip is to learn common phrases and expressions. When you know common phrases, it's easier to speak in conversations. For example, phrases like, "How are you?" or "What do you like to do?" are useful in everyday conversations. Learn these phrases and practice using them in your speaking practice. Listening to English conversations is also helpful for speaking. When you listen, pay attention to how people speak. Notice how they form their sentences, use different tones, and express their ideas. Try to copy their style of speaking. You can listen to podcasts, watch videos, or listen to songs in English. This will help you learn how to speak naturally. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you don't understand something. If you don't know how to say something, ask someone for help. You can ask how to pronounce a word or how to use a phrase. Most people are happy to help, and this will help you learn faster. It's important to practice pronunciation. If you pronounce words incorrectly, it can be hard for others to understand you. Use apps or websites that help with pronunciation. You can also listen to native speakers and repeat what they say. Pay attention to how they pronounce vowels and consonants and try to copy their pronunciation. Another tip is to focus on intonation. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice when you speak. It makes your speaking sound more natural. For example, when asking a question, your voice usually rises at the end of the sentence. Practice speaking with the correct intonation by listening to English speakers and copying their patterns. To improve your fluency, practice thinking in English. When you think in English, it becomes easier to speak quickly and naturally. Start by thinking about simple things, like what you will have for lunch or what you did today. As you get better, try thinking about more complex ideas. Thinking in English helps you improve your speaking speed and fluency. Another fun way to practice speaking is by playing games. You can play word games, role-playing games, or language learning apps that focus on speaking. These games help you practice speaking in a fun and relaxed way. They also help you learn new words and phrases that you can use in conversations. If you're nervous about speaking, start with short sentences. You don't need to speak in long, complicated sentences at first. Start by speaking in simple sentences like, I like coffee, or my name is your name. As you gain confidence, you can try speaking longer sentences. A great way to improve speaking is by recording yourself. Use your phone or a computer to record your speaking. Then listen to the recording and notice any mistakes or areas where you can improve. This will help you hear how you sound and make adjustments. Finally, be patient with yourself. Learning to speak English takes time. You won't be perfect right away, and that's okay. Keep practicing every day, and you will get better. Remember, every small step you take brings you closer to your goal. In conclusion, improving your English speaking skills is all about practice and confidence. Speak every day. Use simple sentences, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Practice with others, listen to English, and use apps to help you. Record yourself and review your progress. The more you speak, the better you will become. Keep practicing, and soon you will speak English with confidence. Chapter 9. Welcome to Chapter 9. In this chapter, we will focus on how to improve your English reading skills. Reading is an important part of learning English because it helps you understand new words and sentence structures. The better your reading skills, the easier it will be to understand English books, articles, and even conversations. Let's look at some easy and fun ways to improve your reading skills. The first tip is to read every day. Reading every day will help you get used to seeing and understanding English words. You don't have to read for a long time. Just read a little bit each day. You can read books, stories, articles, or even websites. The more you read, the better your reading skills will become. Start with simple books or stories. If you are a beginner, choose books with easy words and short sentences. You can also choose books with pictures. Pictures will help you understand the story better. As you get better, you can start reading more difficult books. But remember, always start with something simple and enjoyable. Another good way to improve your reading is to read things that interest you. If you like sports, try reading articles about your favorite sport. If you like animals, read books or stories about animals. When you read about things you enjoy, reading will feel more fun. It will also help you learn vocabulary related to your interests. When you read, try to understand the main idea first. Don't worry too much about every word. It's more important to understand the main message of the text. For example, if you read a story, focus on what is happening in the story. What is the problem? How is it solved? Understanding the main idea will help you enjoy reading and improve your skills. If you don't understand a word, try to guess its meaning from the context. Look at the other words around it and try to figure out what the word means. For example, if you read a sentence like, "The cat jumped onto the high shelf," and you don't know what shelf means, look at the other words. You can guess that a shelf is something that the cat can jump onto. This will help you improve your vocabulary and understanding. You can also use a dictionary to find the meaning of unknown words. When you find a word you don't know, look it up in the dictionary. Try to understand the meaning and pronunciation of the word. You can also write the word down and practice using it in sentences. The more you learn new words, the better your reading skills will be. Another great way to improve your reading is to read out loud. When you read out loud, you practice your pronunciation and improve your speaking skills too. It also helps you focus on the words and sentences. If you don't know how to pronounce a word, say it slowly and try to repeat it until you feel comfortable. Reading out loud will help you read more smoothly and with confidence. You can also read in English with others. Find a friend or language partner who wants to practice reading too. You can read together and discuss what you understand. If you don't understand something, ask your partner for help. Reading with someone else can make it easier and more fun. To improve your reading speed, try reading without stopping to look up every word. If you keep stopping to find the meaning of every word, it will slow you down. Instead, try to understand the main idea first and read more quickly. Over time, your reading speed will improve and you will be able to read more in less time. Another good tip is to set a reading goal. For example, you can set a goal to read one chapter of a book every day or read for 15 minutes each day. Setting a goal will help you stay focused and keep improving. As you reach your reading goals, you will see progress, and that will motivate you to keep going. You can also use audiobooks. Audiobooks are great because they help you improve both your listening and reading skills. You can listen to the audiobook while following along with the text. This will help you hear how the words are pronounced and improve your reading comprehension. You can find many audiobooks online for free or on apps. Reading also helps you learn how to use new words in sentences. When you read, pay attention to how sentences are formed. Notice how the writer uses words, phrases, and punctuation. You can learn new ways to express ideas and improve your writing skills too. When you read, try to read for meaning, not just for the words. It's important to understand the message the writer is trying to convey. Ask yourself questions like, what is the main idea of this paragraph? Or, what is the story about? This will help you become a better reader and help you understand English better. You can also practice reading comprehension by doing exercises. Many websites and apps offer reading comprehension tests. These tests have short texts followed by questions to check your understanding. Doing these exercises will help you improve your reading skills and test your knowledge. One fun way to improve your reading is by reading comics or graphic novels. Comics have pictures and simple sentences, so they are easy to understand. They are also fun to read. Comics can help you learn new vocabulary and understand how English sentences are used in everyday conversations. Another way to practice reading is by reading short stories. Short stories are great because they are not too long, and they often have interesting plots. After you finish a short story, you can summarize what you read and discuss it with someone else. This will help you understand the story better and improve your reading comprehension. Finally, be patient with yourself. Learning to read in English takes time. Don't be discouraged if you don't understand everything right away. Keep reading every day and you will get better. Remember, every little step you take will help you improve your reading skills. In conclusion, improving your English reading skills is all about practice and patience. Read every day, choose interesting books, and don't worry about understanding every word. Use a dictionary, read out loud, and practice reading with others. Set reading goals and try different types of reading material like comics and audiobooks. The more you read, the better your skills will become. Keep practicing, and soon you will be a confident reader in English. Chapter 10. Welcome to Chapter 10. In this chapter, we will focus on how to improve your English speaking skills. Speaking is an important part of learning any language. It helps you communicate with others and use the words you've learned. Let's go through some easy and fun ways to improve your speaking skills. First, try to speak in English every day. Even if you don't have anyone to talk to, you can practice speaking by yourself. For example, you can talk about your day, what you like to do, or your plans for the future. Speaking every day will help you become more comfortable with the language. If you can, try to find someone to practice speaking with. It could be a friend, a family member, or even someone you meet online. Talking to others will help you practice real conversations and improve your confidence. Don't worry about making mistakes. It's a part of learning. When you practice speaking, try to speak slowly and clearly. This will help you pronounce words correctly. Don't rush to speak fast. It's more important to be clear and understood. As you get better, you can start speaking faster, but always focus on clarity first. You can also listen to native English speakers. Listening to how they speak will help you understand the rhythm and tone of English. Pay attention to how they pronounce words, how they form sentences, and how they intonation, the rise and fall of the voice. You can listen to English podcasts, watch movies, or follow YouTube channels in English. Another good way to practice speaking is by repeating sentences you hear. For example, if you hear a sentence in an English movie or podcast, pause and try to repeat it out loud. This is called shadowing. Shadowing will help you improve your pronunciation and make your speaking sound more natural. You can also record yourself speaking. This is a great way to hear how you sound and check your pronunciation. Listen to the recording and think about how you can improve. Maybe you need to speak more clearly, or you could try using new words. Recording yourself will help you notice areas where you can improve. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language. What's important is that you keep trying and learning from your mistakes. If you say something wrong, just correct it and move on. Over time, you will get better and more confident. Try to learn new words every day and use them in your speaking practice. The more words you know, the easier it will be to express yourself. Start with common words and phrases, and as you improve, you can learn more advanced vocabulary. Try to use new words in conversations to help you remember them. You can also practice asking and answering questions in English. This is important because in real-life conversations, you will often need to ask questions. Practice asking about people's names, hobbies, or plans. Also, practice answering questions about yourself. This will help you feel more confident when speaking in English. Another great way to improve speaking is to think in English. At first, this might be hard, but try to start thinking about simple things in English. For example, when you see something, think about it in English. When you are planning your day, think about it in English. The more you think in English, the more natural it will feel to speak in English. You can also join English speaking groups or clubs. Many online platforms offer groups where people practice speaking English together. Joining one of these groups will give you more opportunities to speak and interact with others in English. The more you speak, the better you will get. If you're nervous about speaking, take it slow. Start with small conversations and build your way up. You don't need to speak perfectly. The goal is to communicate and practice. Over time, you will become more confident and fluent. Try to use English in your daily life. Label things in your house with their English names. Try to read signs, menus, and labels in English. The more you see and use English, the easier it will be to speak it. Another fun way to practice speaking is by playing games. There are many word games, quizzes, and apps that focus on English speaking. You can practice speaking with a game, making it feel like less work and more fun. It's a good way to keep practicing without feeling bored. As you practice speaking, try to make your sentences a little longer. Start with short sentences and then add more details. For example, instead of saying, "I like pizza," you can say, "I like pizza because it tastes delicious and I eat it every weekend." Making your sentences longer will help you improve your speaking skills. You can also practice describing things in English. For example, describe what you see around you, what you are doing, or how you feel. This helps you get comfortable with using English to talk about different topics. Don't be afraid to use simple sentences. You don't need to speak with perfect grammar to be understood. Use the words and sentences you know. The more you practice, the more words and grammar you will learn. Also, try to be patient with yourself. Learning to speak a new language takes time, and it's okay if it takes a while. Celebrate the progress you make, even if it's small. Every step forward is a step closer to fluency. Finally, stay motivated. Keep reminding yourself why you want to learn English, whether it's for travel, work, or just to communicate with people. Keeping your goals in mind will help you stay motivated to practice speaking every day. In conclusion, improving your English speaking skills is all about practice and confidence. Speak every day, listen to native speakers, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Record yourself, learn new words, and practice speaking in different situations. The more you practice, the more fluent you will become. Keep going, and soon you will be speaking English confidently. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English stories. Fluency in English is something many people want. I remember when I was a young student like you, I wanted to speak English well. I wanted to be fluent, but I was shy and made many mistakes. One day, a teacher said to me, "You can be fluent if you practice every day." This sentence changed my life. When you want something, you must work for it. Fluency does not come in one day. It is like planting a tree. You put the seed in the ground, water it, and give it sunshine every day. You care for it, and then one day, the tree grows big and strong. The same is true for fluency. One day, a student came to me. She was very sad. She said, "Teacher, I want to speak English, but I always forget the words." I smiled and said, "Do not worry. Fluency is not about remembering all the words. It is about practice." She looked at me with hope in her eyes. "But how can I practice?" she asked. I told her, "Practice is everywhere. You can practice by talking to your friends, by listening to stories, by singing songs. You can practice every moment of the day." I remember when I was in school, I loved stories. I would listen to them every night. My teacher would read to us, and I would repeat the words. At first I was slow, but with time I became faster. I learned new words, and my confidence grew. Another student asked me, "Teacher, is fluency only about speaking fast?" I said, "No, fluency is about speaking clearly. It is about making others understand you. You do not have to speak quickly, you have to speak with confidence." There was once a boy in my class who spoke very fast, but no one could understand him. I told him, "Slow down, speak clearly, use simple words." He listened, and soon everyone could understand him. He became more confident and enjoyed speaking in English. Fluency is like a journey. You take one step at a time. You do not rush. You enjoy the process. One day, you look back and see how far you have come. I have seen many students who were afraid to speak at first, but with time and practice, they became fluent. There is a secret to gaining fluency. It is a simple secret. The secret is to listen. Listen to others speak English. Listen to stories. listen to songs, listen to conversations. The more you listen, the more you learn. I once knew a girl who loved music. She would listen to English songs every day. Soon she started singing along. Her fluency improved because she was listening and repeating. Another important thing is to not be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are our best teachers. I remember a student who was very afraid of making mistakes. She would not speak because she thought others would laugh at her. I told her, "Do not worry about mistakes. Every mistake is a lesson." One day, she decided to speak in class. She made many mistakes, but she did not stop. She kept speaking. After a while, she became better. She told me, "Teacher, I am not afraid anymore." That was the day she started to become fluent. Fluency is also about thinking in English. When you think in English, you start to speak more naturally. I once had a student who always translated from his language to English. This made him slow and confused. I told him, "Try to think in English. Even when you are alone, think in English." He tried this, and slowly he became more fluent. There was another student who loved to talk. He would talk about anything and everything, but he had a problem. He would start a sentence in English and then switch to his native language. I told him, "Try to stay in English. Even if you don't know a word, try to explain it in English." This helped him stay focused, and soon he was speaking only in English. Reading is another way to gain fluency. When you read, you see how sentences are formed. You learn new words. I remember when I was learning English, I would read simple books. Every time I found a new word, I would write it down. Then, I would try to use it in a sentence. This helped me remember the words and use them when I spoke. One day, a student came to me with a book. She said, "Teacher, I read this book, but I did not understand everything." I told her, "That is okay. The more you read, the more you will understand." She continued to read every day. After some time, she came to me and said, "Now I understand much more." Her fluency improved because she was reading and learning new things every day. Fluency is also about listening to yourself. Sometimes you need to record yourself speaking, then listen to it. See where you can improve. I once had a student who did this every day. She would record herself reading a story. Then, she would listen to the recording and find areas where she could improve. This practice made her more aware of her speech, and soon she became fluent. Practicing with a friend is another great way to gain fluency. I had two students who were best friends. They decided to speak only in English with each other every day. They would have conversations in English, helping each other with words they didn't know. Over time, both of them became very fluent. They learned from each other and enjoyed the process. Fluency also comes from using the language in real-life situations. When you go to the market, try to speak in English. When you are with friends, try to use English. The more you use the language, the more fluent you become. I had a student who worked in a shop. He decided to speak only in English with his customers. At first it was difficult, but with time, he became more confident and fluent. Fluency is also about being curious. When you hear a new word, don't ignore it. Find out what it means and try to use it in your next conversation. I remember a student who was very curious. Every time he heard a new word, he would ask me what it meant. Then, he would try to use that word as much as possible. His vocabulary grew, and so did his fluency. It is also important to have a goal. Ask yourself, why do I want to be fluent in English? When you have a clear goal, you are more motivated. I knew a student who wanted to travel to an English-speaking country. This was her goal. Every day she practiced speaking English because she wanted to be ready for her trip. Her goal kept her motivated, and she became fluent before she traveled. I also tell my students to enjoy the process. Fluency does not come overnight. It takes time. But if you enjoy the journey, it becomes easier. I once had a student who loved watching English movies. He would watch one movie every night. At first, he used subtitles, but after a while, he started watching without them. He enjoyed the movies, and at the same time, he was improving his fluency. Fluency is about repetition. The more you repeat, the better you become. I remember a student who loved to repeat sentences. He would hear something in class and then say it over and over again. This helped him remember the sentences, and soon he was using them in his daily conversations. Speaking with different people also helps with fluency. Every person has a different way of speaking. When you talk to different people, you learn different styles of speaking. I once had a student who was very shy. He only spoke to me. I encouraged him to speak to other students. At first he was nervous, but with time he became more comfortable. He learned new ways of expressing himself, and his fluency improved. Sometimes it is good to practice speaking about topics you love. When you talk about something you enjoy, you are more passionate, and the words come more easily. I had a student who loved football. Every day he would talk to me about football. This helped him become more fluent because he was speaking about something he was excited about. Fluency also comes from understanding that it's okay to not know everything. Sometimes you may not know a word, and that is okay. Try to explain it in another way. I had a student who always wanted to know the exact word for everything. If he didn't know the word, he would stop speaking. I told him, if you don't know the word, try to describe it. This helped him keep the conversation going even when he didn't know the exact word. A student once asked me, "Teacher, how long will it take to become fluent?" I told him, "It depends on how much you practice. Some people become fluent in a few months, while for others, it takes longer. But the important thing is to keep going. Do not stop." This student practiced every day and soon saw progress. Sometimes it is helpful to practice in front of a mirror. When you see yourself speaking, you become more aware of your expressions and gestures. I had a student who was very shy. She did not like to speak in front of others. I told her to practice in front of a mirror. This helped her become more confident, and soon she was speaking more fluently. Another student asked me, "Teacher, what should I do if I forget a word while speaking?" I told him, "Do not stop. Keep talking. Sometimes the word will come to you later. If not, use another word." This helped him stay calm when speaking, and he didn't worry about forgetting words. It is also important to take breaks. Sometimes your brain needs rest. After a long day of practice, it is good to relax. I knew a student who practiced all the time. She became very tired and started to feel frustrated. I told her, "Take a break. Relax. Come back tomorrow with a fresh mind." After taking breaks, she felt better, and her fluency continued to improve. Fluency is also about using the language in creative ways. You can write a short story, sing a song, or even make a video. I had a student who loved to write. She would write short stories in English every day. This helped her practice new words and sentences. Soon, she started reading her stories aloud, and her fluency improved. Another way to practice is by teaching others. When you teach, you learn even more. I had a student who was very fluent. She decided to help her friends who were not as fluent. She would teach them new words and practice speaking with them. This not only helped her friends, but also made her even more fluent. Sometimes it helps to have a routine. Set a time every day to practice speaking English. I had a student who would practice every morning for 30 minutes. This was his routine. He followed it every day, and soon he became more fluent. A routine helps you stay disciplined and ensures that you practice regularly. It is also important to be patient with yourself. Fluency takes time. I had a student who was very impatient. He wanted to be fluent quickly. But when he did not see progress, he became frustrated. I told him, "Be patient. You are making progress even if it is slow." He listened to me and continued to practice. Over time, he saw improvement and became more confident. Fluency is not just about speaking, it is also about listening. When you listen carefully, you learn how to respond. I had a student who was a good listener. He would listen carefully before he spoke. This made his responses clear and thoughtful. Listening is a big part of becoming fluent. Another important thing is to stay positive. Learning a language can be challenging, but a positive attitude makes it easier. I had a student who was always positive. Even when she made mistakes, she would smile and try again. This positive attitude helped her stay motivated and eventually become fluent. Fluency is also about being open to new experiences. Sometimes you may need to step out of your comfort zone. I had a student who was very comfortable speaking in class, but shy outside of class. I encouraged her to speak to people outside of school. She was nervous at first, but with time, she became more confident and fluent. It is also helpful to learn from others who are fluent. Watch how they speak, listen to their intonation, and learn from their style. I had a student who admired a famous English speaker. She would watch his videos and try to imitate his style. This helped her improve her own fluency. Fluency is a mix of many things: practice, patience, listening, speaking, and even making mistakes. Each part is important. I once told my students, fluency is like cooking a meal. You need different ingredients and you need to mix them well. This analogy helped them understand that every part of learning is important. It is also important to celebrate small victories. Every time you learn a new word or speak without hesitation, celebrate it. I had a student who would celebrate every small achievement. This made her feel proud and motivated her to keep going. Celebrating small victories helps you see your progress and stay motivated. One day, a student asked me, "Teacher, what if I get stuck while speaking?" I told him, "It is okay to pause and think. Take a deep breath and then continue." This advice helped him stay calm when he faced challenges while speaking. He learned to manage his pauses, and his fluency improved. Fluency is also about practicing what you learn. If you learn a new word today, try to use it tomorrow. I had a student who would learn a new word every day and then use it in a sentence. This practice helped him remember the words and use them naturally in conversation. Another important thing is to learn from your surroundings. Sometimes you can learn English from signs, posters, and even menus. I had a student who loved to explore the city. Every time he saw an English sign, he would read it and try to understand it. This helped him learn new words and phrases that he could use in conversation. It is also helpful to be curious about the culture behind the language. English is spoken in many countries, and each country has its own way of speaking. I had a student who was very interested in British English. He would watch British shows and learn about their culture. This helped him understand different ways of speaking and made him more fluent. Fluency is not just about words, it is also about body language. When you speak, your body language adds meaning to your words. I had a student who was very good with body language. Even when he spoke simple sentences, his body language made him seem more fluent. This helped him communicate more effectively. Sometimes it is good to challenge yourself. Try to speak about a topic you do not know well. This helps you learn new words and ideas. I had a student who loved sports, but he decided to talk about science. At first it was difficult, but with time he learned new words and became more fluent in discussing different topics. Fluency also comes from being relaxed. When you are relaxed, your words flow more easily. I had a student who was very tense when speaking. I told him to take deep breaths before he spoke. This helped him relax, and his fluency improved. Another way to practice is by asking questions. When you ask questions, you start conversations. I had a student who was very good at asking questions. He would ask his classmates about their day, their hobbies, and their interests. This practice helped him become more fluent because he was always engaged in conversations. It is also important to reflect on your progress. Every few weeks, take a moment to think about how much you have improved. I had a student who kept a journal. Every week, he would write about his progress in learning English. This helped him see how far he had come and motivated him to keep going. Fluency is also about being flexible. Sometimes, you may need to change the way you say something to make it clearer. I had a student who was very good at this. If someone did not understand him, he would change his sentence until they did. This skill made him more fluent because he could adapt to different situations. Another important thing is to stay connected with other learners. When you learn with others, you can share your experiences and learn from each other. I had a student who joined an English club. Every week, she would meet with other learners and practice speaking. This helped her stay motivated and improve her fluency. It is also helpful to set small goals. Instead of saying, "I want to be fluent," say, "I want to learn 5 new words this week." I had a student who set small goals every week. These goals were easy to achieve, and each time she reached one, she felt more confident. Over time, these small goals added up, and she became more fluent. Fluency is also about being persistent, even when it is difficult. Do not give up. I had a student who struggled with English for a long time. He wanted to give up many times, but he kept going. One day he realized that he was speaking more fluently than before. His persistence paid off. Sometimes it is good to revisit what you have learned. Go back to old lessons and review them. I had a student who would review her notes every month. This helped her remember what she had learned and made her more confident in using the language. Another important thing is to stay open-minded. Sometimes you may hear different ways of saying the same thing. I had a student who was very curious about different dialects of English. He would learn how people from different places spoke. This made him more adaptable and fluent in different situations. Fluency also comes from enjoying the language. Find something you love in English, whether it is a book, a movie, or a song. I had a student who loved English poetry. She would read poems every day and try to understand them. This made her more passionate about the language and helped her become more fluent. It is also important to ask for feedback when you speak. Ask someone to tell you how you did. I had a student who would always ask me for feedback after speaking. This helped him see where he could improve and what he was doing well. Feedback is a valuable tool in becoming more fluent. Another way to improve fluency is by using flashcards. Write down new words on flashcards and review them regularly. I had a student who made flashcards for every new word he learned. He would review them every day. This helped him remember the words and use them in conversation. Fluency is also about being comfortable with silence. Sometimes you need a moment to think before you speak. I had a student who was afraid of silence. He thought he had to speak immediately. I told him, it is okay to pause and think. This helped him feel more comfortable and speak more clearly. It is also helpful to learn phrases instead of just individual words. When you learn a phrase, you learn how words work together. I had a student who focused on learning phrases. This made her sentences more natural and fluent. Fluency is also about being curious about the world. When you learn about different cultures and ideas, you have more to talk about. I had a student who loved to learn about history. The road to fluency is not always easy, but it is always rewarding. Just like a river flows steadily towards the ocean, your efforts will carry you closer to your goal. Fluency is not just about speaking with ease, but about connecting with the world and sharing your unique voice. Every word you learn, every sentence you speak, is a bridge to new understanding and new friendships. So keep learning, keep speaking, and let your voice be heard. And now, I have a question for you. What inspires you to keep going on your journey to fluency? I would love to hear your thoughts.